Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you how to write I am locked with two different ways. The very basics is that you do have to thread your needle with a small piece. Remember, you're only doing the top. Now your squares should be in the center of your canvas if you've counted everything correctly. You can always cut it down if you don't. So we'll start with the I am. As you can tell from my lovely pattern, the I starts over the space between the first and the second square. So you go to that space and you count up 2. I've personally made it 2 stitches above the squares. If you don't like it, you can change it to each their own. So again, just make sure that you grab your tail, no knots. Again, most people will say, well, it's your choice, but knots in a coaster will not let it lay flat, and you don't want your mug tilting on your coaster. So my eye is actually 5 wide, 5 tall, very much like a square. I've done that because odd numbers at the base of the eye work a lot easier than even numbers. And I always tend to make all of my letters 5 tall. So now we'll go to the space between the I and the M. As you can tell, it's about the same as underneath the square, so it's a 2. But between the A and the M, there's a 1 space gap. So we're going to start with the first line of the A. So you just bring it over and you stitch. Again, you're just going to bring yourself all the way down and go at your own speed. I've sped it up because it's not fun watching somebody else cross stitch. So to transfer across my A, I like putting it through the top of the A. And then that will bring you into the perfect place to start doing your M. Now, in your M, you will have what's called a reverse stitch. The reverse stitch basically means stitches going in the opposite direction that all your other stitches go. That's how you make the M. So don't worry, I'll tell you how to deal with that in the background later. Just remember to secure your tail. Some people I know actually like putting a little bit of glue to keep it there, but I've never needed it. Let's do the locked. Now you're going to need a bit more string than normal. So as you can tell, the locked is actually pushed into the sides a bit. It's brought in by 1 stitch. So you start your L under the second row in the square. Again, make sure that you grab your tail. I'm going to be very repetitive about grabbing your tail. Just so you know, my L is 5 high and 4 wide. All of my letters, other than my M and my I in this, is 5 high, 4 wide. O you can do in multiple different ways, and lettering can change. This is the lettering I chose because I found it looked a lot more like a cell phone lettering with it being blocky. I have seen people to do an entire background and then put the lettering on stitched on top of that. This one I found looked more the style I wanted to portray in this pattern. Also, you might have noticed that there's a little line that comes in for the D. I liked it, but you can do a reverse stitch there to remove it. It's really artistic choice. So that is one way of doing the I am locked. The second one is have the background already done. As you can tell, this is actually a second one to my patterns. I made 2 out of my 4 set with sure in it and 2 without. This is so that people who haven't seen Sherlock can actually get the joke. So as you can tell, a lot of the times I actually pull my canvas out of frame to let my thread spin. You'll probably notice if you do any cross stitching that it does tend to spin up. Um, Again, just to be precise, really end properly your stitches. I know I'm a broken record. So as you can tell here, my reverse stitch in my M, which my hand keeps covering, and the reverse stitch that's going to happen in my K are actually going to be stitched above the stitches. In the other one, when you were going to do the background, you would actually have to stitch under them, which I'll show you a little later will give a slightly different look. So again, this is just a basic of what I thought up. Artistic license, if you want to make a coaster set, just make it however you want. After all, you're the one that's going to be using it. I feel like I should have some music here. Do, 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 do. No, that's annoying. I really should have had some music on in the background. Because this is getting a little boring, isn't it? This is why I told you can skip around, because if you actually sat down through this entire thing, you might want to, shoot yourself. It's so quiet. Only my voice. I'm sounding a little like a stalker. So, now that that's done, here are the two different coasters. See the slight difference between the reverse stitches in the M and the K? So this is the one I prefer. You can do either one. So next time I'm going to be showing you how to do the whip stitching and applying the back. Have a good day!